Assalamu alaikum. After reading your comments about these stories, I decided to do a quick story after the last one because you are finding them beneficial for you in learning Turkish. If you have recently subscribed to my channel and you are new, then you missed a lot of PDF files that I used to send through email. That's why if you want the old PDFs and the new ones, click on the link in the description box below to receive the old PDF and also the PDF of the new videos that I will upload later to this channel. This is a lifetime access, which means you will have these PDF files always with you. They will not be deleted. Let's start with today's story. It is about sinekler ile bal kavanozu masalı. Sinekler ile bal kavanozu masalı. The tale of the flies and the honey jar. So masal, let's start with this one. Masal is tale. When I put it is the tale of who? Sinek is a fly, one of these. When I put ler, sinekler, plural, flies, ile here comes in the meaning of with. So it's the tail of the flies with bal, honey, kavanozu, the jar, so the honey jar. As before, we will start with the word list, which is kelime listesi. Kelime is word, listesi, the list. So kelime listesi, word list. These are some of the words that passed by in the story. Let's look at their meaning and then we start with the story. Yaşlı kadın, yaşlı kadın means old woman. So kadın is woman and yaşlı is old. Torun, torun, grandchild. Kırmış, kırmış, broke. Keskin, keskin is sharp. Damla, damla is drop. Yapışmak, to stick. Yapışmak. And bal kavanozu, honey jar, as we explained this one before. But pay attention that, for example, in the story, I don't have yapışmak. The word as it is, yapışmak, is the infinitive form, which is to stick. Maybe in the story, it would be in another form, in the past, in the future, in the present tense. But here I put the infinitive form. So while reading the story, I will explain the other form that it will appear in. Let's start with the story. This is a very short story. We'll start with this one and then another one, and that's it. First of all, I read the sentence slowly and then faster with explanation. Yaşlı kadın akşam eve gelecek. Olan torununa yemek hazırlıyormuş. Yaşlı kadın akşam eve gelecek olan torununa yemek hazırlıyormuş. I've said this previously, is that when you want to know the meaning of a Turkish sentence, start with the subject and then go to the verb as in English, because in English it's subject, verb, object. Here it's subject, object, and then verb. So when you want to know the meaning, go to the subject. Yaşlı kadın, old woman. Hazırlıyormuş was preparing. Hazırlamak, to prepare. The ıyor here, this one, is the present continuous tense. And the muş is for the reported past tense. What is the reported past tense? In Turkish, we have reported past tense and the normal past tense. The reported one is when someone tells you a story or an event that happened in the past, but you did not witness it. He's just reporting it to you. He's telling you what happened. Muş. You did not see that event or what happened. You use muş. So, hazırlıyormuş was preparing. Preparing. This is the present continuous tense. In the past, she was preparing. So, the old woman was preparing. What or for who? Let's see. Food. Yemek is food. Torununa, for her grandchild. So, as we said, torunu, her grandchild. And ne here is a protection letter because we have two vowels. The in Turkish, when we add it to a word, it means two. But while translating, We don't say to her grandchild, for her grandchild. So the yaşlı kadın, the old woman was preparing food for her grandchild, who olan, the person who was coming, gelecek, in the future. When you see ecek here in or next to a word, to a verb, ecek means this is the addition that we use for the future. Will come to her house, to the house. So gelecek, will come. We said when we put a or a, it depends on the last vowel of the word. It's ev, house. We have to put a. This is vowel harmony rule, which I have a video about it. You don't put eva. It doesn't work. There's no harmony in the word. Eve. So the old woman was preparing food for her grandchild that was coming to her house at the evening. Or in the evening. We don't say at the evening. Akşam means evening. O sırada masanın üstünde duran bir bal kavanozunu devirip kırmış. O sırada masanın üstünde duran bir bal kavanozunu devirip kırmış. O sırada means at that time, at that moment. Something happened. Here we have two verbs, devirmek and kırmak. Instead of saying devirmiş, because we are talking about the reported tense, and then saying and ve kırmış and broke, when I have two verbs, in the first one I put up, which means like and the second one will take the addition of the tense. So here it's devirmiş ve kırmış, which means she knocked over and broke. Kırmak, to break. Kırmış, broke. So at that time, she knocked out and broke what? Bir is one or a honey jar. We know now bal kavanozunu is honey jar. She knocked out and broke a honey jar, which was what? Which was standing. Duran is someone who is standing, but we will translate it in a good way later. Which was on the table. Masa is table, but we say masanın üstünde. Üst is above, top, and de is, it has several meanings like in, on, at. So, which was standing on the top of the table. This is noun complement. That's why you see these additions. Noun complements. This is also found in A1 book in the last chapters, couple of chapters, which I explain in this channel, and I have a playlist about it. It explains the noun complement. So, masanın üstünde. The whole meaning of this sentence will be, at that time, she knocked over and broke a jar of honey, or we can say a honey jar. Yes, a jar of honey, which was on the top of the table, or in other words, which was on the table. This is how we translate it. We continue. Third sentence. Bal çok keskin ve güzel kokuyormuş. Bal çok keskin ve güzel kokuyormuş. The honey was very sharp and güzel kokuyormuş means smelled good. Koku alone means smell. Kokuyormuş was smelling. At that time it was sharp and it smelled beautifully, or it smelled güzel, good. Güzel can be used in several places, it doesn't only mean beautiful. Sometimes we say güzel for the food, which means it's delicious. So this sentence means the honey was very sharp and smelled good. Kokuyu alan sinekler bal kavanozuna üşüşmüşler hemen. Kokuyu alan sinekler Bal kavanozuna üşüşmüşler hemen. Kokuyu alan sinekler, the flies that smell, hemen, immediately, hemen means immediately. Immediately, üşüşmüşler flew to the honey jar. This means to. So, the flies that smell immediately flew to the honey jar. They flew. Balı yemeye başlamışlar. Balı yemeye başlamışlar. Başlamışlar means started in the past because we have mış. And lar is they started. They were more than one. Başlamak to start. So başlamışlar, they started eating the honey. So bal is honey and means the honey. That honey that broke on the table. Yedikçe yemişler. Yedikçe yemişler. Balın tek damlasını bırakmamışlar. Yedikçe yemişler. Yedikçe yemişler. Balın tek damlasını bırakmamışlar. If you watched the previous story, we had this dikçe, and we said that dikçe is something that is repeated. So we're doing it more than one time. As they were eating. So they ate as they ate, which means, I don't know if it's the right translation, but it means they ate. And time is passing, they kept on eating. Balın tek damlasını bırakmamışlar. They didn't leave. Let's explain this word. Bırakmak, the infinitive form. This is the infinitive form. Bırak is to leave. When you remove the mak and the mek from the infinitive form, it becomes the order. Bırak, leave. The ma here is the negative form, not the infinitive form. This is something else. The ma here is the negative form. Bırakma, don't leave. Alone, bırakma means don't leave. Now, I added mış, which means the reported past tense, something that happened in the past. So, don't leave. Lar, they. The lar is the suffix of the personal pronoun. They. So, the meaning of the whole word means they didn't leave. They didn't leave a single drop. Damla is drop. A single drop of honey. Now, you might be, if you are a beginner in Turkish, you might think, why do we have this sana? So, damla, if you go to the first slide, which is the word list, damla means drop. We are talking balın damlası. Balın damlası, this is noun complement. So, we have additions when we want to do the noun complement. What does noun complement mean? It means drop of honey. So bal alone is honey, damla alone is drop, but I'm connecting them together. Drop of what? Of honey. That's why I use the noun complement, and I have some additions in it, and this is explained as I said in A1, level A1. Balın damlasını bırakmamışlar, and I added tek. So they didn't leave a tek, one, even one, a tek or drop of honey. Not a drop. Tek might mean, alone might mean, single, only one. So here, they didn't leave a single drop of honey. Finally, the last sentence, ama ayakları yapıştığı için uçup gidememişler. Faster, ama ayakları yapıştığı için uçup gidememişler. Ama, but, because their feet were stuck. Remember in the word list we said yapışmak, to stick. Now here we used it. Yapıştığı için. We will continue the other two words in a minute. So ayak is foot, the foot. Ayakları or ayaklar, feet, their feet. Yapışmak, we said to stick. This is in the word list. Yapıştığı için, because it was stuck. This is how we use it. Uçup gidememişler. Remember when we took Or when I explain about the ip, this is the same, but because we have u over here, vowel harmony, we use up, not ip. Uçup. Uç is fly. And gidememişler, they couldn't go. They couldn't fly and go. So that we don't repeat the whole addition next to uçup. This word comes from uçmak, which means to fly. Gidememişler, they couldn't go. Let's explain this long word. This word comes from the verb gitmek. Gitmek, which means to go. Git alone means go. Now, again, one more thing. When I have the infinitive form gitmek and I want to add to it the past or the present or make it in the future, you take only git. You don't put the mek. Gitmek is to go. You remove the mek and you'll have git. And next to git, we add all the additions that we want to add for the personal pronoun, the suffix of the personal pronoun, or the tenses. So we take git. So here it's git. Now, because we have an a over here, we don't say gite. No, we transform that t into de. This is one of the rules in Turkish. Gide. This is the word. Memişler. The me here is the negative. The mish is the reported past tense, and the ler is for the they pronoun. For they, because they were more than one fly, we are talking about them, we put ler. Now this a is e, or a in Turkish, is what a they couldn't, can. This a, and sometimes it's a according to the last vowel of the word, when I add it to the word, it gives the meaning of can, which means they wanted to go but they couldn't. And it comes with the negative form. So gidememişler, they could not. This is could, not is the me. Again, ama ayakları yapıştığı için uçup gidememişler, which means but they couldn't go and fly, or when we want to say the translate, we say they couldn't fly and go because their feet were stuck. By the way, an extra information, if you want to remove this up, which means like and connecting two verbs together, you say uçurmamışlar and gidememişler ve, which means and. Uçurmamışlar ve gidememişler. But instead of repeating all of this, I have the form over here and just put up or if depending on the last vowel of the word. If you are watching so far, I congratulate you for continuing and having the patience of learning a new language. Give me a thumbs up in the comment section. Let's see what happened and what is the advice that we learned. What's the lesson that we learned? Ne açgözlü, ne aptal yaratıklarız biz diye bağırmışlar. Ne açgözlü, ne aptal yaratıklarız biz diye bağırmışlar. What greedy, what stupid creatures we are. So this is we. Ne açgözlü means what greedy. Ne aptal, aptal means stupid. Yaratıklarız biz, creatures. Yaratıklarız. Yaratık alone means creature. Larız gives the meaning of we are creatures. So, this is it. Ne açgözlü, ne aptal yaratıklarız biz. What greedy, what stupid creatures we are. Diye bağırmışlar, they cried. Bağırmak, this word comes from the verb bağırmak, which means to shout. They shouted. Or if you want to translate it properly in English, they cried. So they noticed how stupid and greedy they were. Diye here is a preposition. One of the uses of diye is while you're stating your opinion. For here in the sentence, they cried, they noticed what they did, so they are stating, they're talking, they're saying their opinion, we use diye. Finally, bir anlık keyif için canlarımızı tehlikeye attık Bir anlık keyif için canlarımızı tehlikeye attık. Tehlikeye attık. We risked. This is the t is for we, personal pronoun. Tehlike, we risked. These two words mean we risked what? Our lives for a moment of pleasure. So bir anlık, a moment, keyif, pleasure, için, for. So için here, let's go back. Here yapıştığı için because we stuck. This is something else. İçin alone means for. For a moment of pleasure, we risked our lives. Can here means life, your life. Canlarımızı, our lives. Mız over here means we, our lives, our. So again, we risked our lives for a moment of pleasure. Öğüt, which means the advice, the lesson that we learned from the story. Açgözlü olmak tehlikeli sonuçlar doğurur. Açgözlü olmak tehlikeli sonuçlar doğurur. Olmak, to be. To be greedy has dangerous consequences. Now, to translate some words, sonuçlar doğurur means produces results. This is the literal translation. Produces results. Tehlikeli, dangerous, olmak, to be, açgözlü, greedy. But the translation will be to be greedy has dangerous results. As I always say, if you are new to this channel, don't translate the Turkish sentence literally to English because you will get weird translation. That's why we take the idea, we understand the idea of the Turkish sentence and then we can translate it in our own words because literal translation doesn't always work. Now here you will find the translation of the story in English. Of course, if you are a detail-driven person like me, you like details, you like writing so that you can understand the topic more, you can click on the link below so that you take a copy of all the PDFs of this story and the PDFs of the rest of the videos that I have created so far. Also, the future PDFs of the videos that I will create to this and upload to this channel. It is a lifetime access. I will keep updating the file or the folder that you will have a copy of with the new PDFs. If you want to know more, click on the link below. That was all for now. See you in another video, inshallah.